On December 21, 2024, Atlanta police working alongside mall loss prevention detained 3 young women at a Georgia shopping center alleging concealment of merchandise inside Victoria's Secret. All merchandise was recovered and returned to the store, yet arrests were still made. This analysis examines whether the law supported that outcome.
Atlanta police, go ahead and stop. All 3 of you stop. Stop. You're being detained. Shoplifting. Take this, set this down. You're being detained. Shoplifting.
Just take the bags. I'm trying to let it.
You guys want to be Victoria's Secret, right?
Let's take them out here.
Yeah.
We're gonna take you out here. This is in the hallway. I got one ID here.
I got an ID here.
You just go on that wall.
How old are you? How old are you? How old are you?
Oh, okay. You stand over there. 10, 12.
All right, I'll start with you. Come over with me. Hey guys, we're gonna need you to go the other way. This area is closed. Go ahead and stand against the wall. All right. Do you know why we're here?
Yeah.
Why are we here?
Victoria's Secret.
What happened in Victoria's Secret? I wasn't there. I was on a bike. So you tell me. Obviously we're here for a reason, but what happened in Victoria's Secret?
I don't know. That's what he said.
What did you guys do in Victoria's Secret? You said you know why we're here. So, oh, that's fine, but do you know why we're here? What was your part in Victoria's Secret? What you guys were doing? Did you take anything? Did you help take anything? Surveillance is going to say otherwise. So just remember, you're being watched. So what was your part? Honesty is always best policy. You've never been arrested before? No? You just haven't gotten caught? You done this before? Shoplift before? No? So just because he said something happened in Victoria's Secret, what happened? What was your part? It's okay, you can be honest. You don't want to talk? That's it? Alright, cool. Why are we here?
The initial detention was legally grounded. Under Terry v. Ohio 1968, an officer may briefly detain a person based on reasonable, articulable suspicion of criminal activity. Loss prevention had directly observed the group carry an empty bag into the store select merchandise and exit without completing a transaction. That observation is specific, articulable, and based on direct witness account. Georgia Code Section 16814 also requires that shoplifting be committed with intent to deprive. Intent is a required element of the offense, not a presumption, and that distinction becomes critical once a legitimate purchase enters the record.
I came to get something for my trip.
You came to get something for your trip. What kind of, what'd you come to get? Guys, can you go the other way?
A Nike.
Other way!
I came to get a Nike jumpsuit. That's it.
Okay, so what were you doing in Victoria? That way.
I bought some at Victoria's Secret. The receipt in there and everything.
No, you were never seen go into the register. We watched you.
There's a receipt
Can you
in there. I can
listen?
show you. Yeah,
You came from the store with an empty bag, or from your car with an empty Nike bag. Okay, you were watched from the whole time before you guys walked in. So don't play that game. You were seen on surveillance as well. So don't lie. Tell us what you were doing in Victoria's Secret.
I bought candies from
You never went to the cash register.
I can show you the receipt on my phone.
The receipts don't go on the phone, sweetheart.
I swear to God, on
No,
everything I love.
we watched you go
You
in.
can show you the email.
Sweetheart.
There's even a receipt in that bag. You
There
can
isn't.
look at it.
There isn't.
So I didn't buy nothing at that store?
No, you never were seen going to that register. You guys were seen concealing objects. You were never seen going to the register. So don't lie. Stop lying. Be honest. This is what's going to hem you up. You're not.
I swear to God, on everything I love, I'm being honest.
It's cool. It'll go in the affidavit when we arrest you.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you the truth. Like
There is no receipt. There is no receipt.
There's a receipt on my email. Like you
There's-
can literally pull my phone out and look at it.
You never went to the register. So what'd you do? Airdrop it or something?
I
I don't know. You never went to the register, so how did you pay for
But I
something?
can show you.
How? I'm telling you, you were watched the entire time in the store. You never went to the register to pay for anything. Huh? So how did they take money from you if you never went there? So that's why I said they airdrop it. Is it some special technique? Tell me, please, be honest. This is your chance.
The register, I bought pink pennies.
You did
black
not
and
go
white
to
pink
the
pennies.
register.
How you gonna tell me?
We watched you the entire time.
You couldn't have been.
Yeah, we did. I did not know, but we have enough people that did. And that's why you three are detained right now. Because you were watched concealing items and walking past the point of sale and stealing.
Real quick.
No, because there's nothing to show. I don't know how you're going to show me when you never went to the cash register. You never checked out. No, you're detained. You cannot get in your phone.
I didn't even gotta unlock it. All I gotta do is put it on.
I want to know how you went to the register, when you went to the register, when you were watched the entire time concealing.
We walked to Victoria's Secret together.
No, because once we leave here, you're going in my car.
Okay.
So you tell me, how did you go to the register?
I walked to the register and gave them money out my purse, like a normal person would, right?
But you never went to the register.
Y'all got.
So you're going to stick with it? You're going to stick with that. Okay.
The interrogation phase raises serious Fifth Amendment concerns. Miranda versus Arizona 1966 requires advisement of rights before custodial interrogation begins. Custody is not defined by formal arrest alone. In Florida versus Bostick 1991, the Supreme Court held the governing test is whether a reasonable person would feel free to leave. When an officer explicitly states the subject is going in his car while pressing that subject to explain herself, that standard is clearly met. No Miranda advisement was given at any point in this footage. Statements obtained in a custodial setting without Miranda warnings face suppression at trial. The most legally consequential moment in this footage is the officer asserting 4 separate times as established fact that the subject never visited the cash register while the store's own point-of-sale system was about to contradict him entirely. Loss prevention later radioed to confirm a legitimate transaction at Register 141 that same day. Under Franks v. Delaware 1978, an affidavit containing deliberately or recklessly false statements can be voided. Beyond suppression, a knowing misstatement of fact in a sworn document may support a civil rights claim under Section 1983, which permits individuals to sue state actors for constitutional violations. The arrest decision after full merchandise recovery requires its own Fourth Amendment analysis. An arrest requires probable cause, a substantially higher standard than the reasonable suspicion that justified the initial stop. When all allegedly stolen items are returned and store records confirm a legitimate purchase by at least one subject, the evidentiary foundation for arrest is materially weakened. The officer also applied group liability doctrine under Georgia Code Section 16785, organized retail crime. That statute requires proof of shared criminal intent, not merely shared presence. Shopping together does not establish coordination to steal.
Okay, cool. Next one. What's going on right now? Why are you in the cops right now? Why are we stopping out with you? What happened? You don't want to talk? Okay. So you don't want to give your side of the story? Because all I'm going off of is what we have and what we've seen you guys do. So we're giving you an option to talk if you want to. But if you choose not to, that's fine. You don't want to talk? Okay. You may have one receipt, but it's not enough for what you guys took.
Y'all can't show me nothing else that I touched.
You were seen, all of you working together, choosing items together, working together in concert to steal. Doesn't matter if one person has the item and they walk out of the store with it, you all are taking the ride for it. I'm just being honest with you, that's how it works.
Can you show the receipt again real quick?
I was lying about it though.
What is it?
Well, no, you want all of it.
Let me see it.
I'm sorry, I don't want to show you.
Okay, that's fine. Hey,
No,
okay. No, so the one with the red hair purchased something at the register, 141 today. A pair of red, or what color underwear were they?
It was blue and white.
Blue and white underwear for $2.99 or $3.18 after tax. So one item in that bag was paid for. So, yes, that was one item. Yeah, she has it on her phone too. But that,
I'm gonna walk out this.
The primary officer receives a C+. The initial detention was legally justified and composure was maintained throughout a prolonged confrontational encounter. However, the officer made repeated false factual assertions before verifying them against store records, refused to allow a subject to display a digital receipt, conducted custodial interrogation without any Miranda advisement, and proceeded to arrest following full merchandise recovery and confirmed partial payment. Each of those decisions creates independent legal exposure for both the officer and the department. Subject 1 receives a B+. She accurately maintained her account under sustained and coercive pressure, and she was ultimately vindicated by the store's own point-of-sale data. Her persistence placed the confirmed purchase on the record before the arrest was finalized. The legally optimal choice would have been to invoke the Fifth Amendment and allow counsel to introduce the receipt through proper channels, but her account proved factually correct and her conduct throughout was measured. Subjects 2 and 3 receive a B. Subject 2 exercised her right to remain silent, which is the correct legal response under these circumstances, and the officer acknowledged that choice without escalation. Both subjects complied with all commands and did not physically escalate the encounter. Their silence was legally sound, even if it cannot fully insulate them from the concert liability theory the officer invoked. 3 lessons apply broadly from this encounter. First, the right to remain silent exists precisely for situations like this one. Invoking it is not an admission of guilt. It is a constitutional protection established by the Fifth Amendment affirmed in Miranda, and it cannot be used against you in any subsequent proceeding. Second, if exculpatory evidence exists, whether a physical receipt, a confirmation email, or a digital transaction record, do not surrender your device to law enforcement without counsel present. Preserve the evidence and allow your attorney to introduce it through proper legal channels. Third officers are trained to project absolute certainty during interrogations. In this encounter, the officer stated as established fact 4 separate times something the store's own register system directly contradicted. Confidence during questioning is an interrogation tactic. It is not evidence, and it is not always accurate. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching.